Throughout April, I brought in over £7,000, which is almost $10,000, and that was using graphic design skills. Now, like me some years ago in my life, you've probably worried about income or the future as a graphic designer at least once. Maybe after a terrible experience with a client from hell, or perhaps on hearing about the latest AI tool and what it can do. But here's the truth that most designers never really realize. Graphic design might actually be one of the most flexible skills on the internet right now. And let's start with the obvious stuff first, client work. It's not dead, and despite what the internet occasionally tells us, people are still paying very good money for design, and designers are still earning very good money for that design, like myself. In this day and age, it pays to niche down in your design field, if you do want to work on client projects, that is. The moment you specialize or decide to specialize, things will change. The designer known for restaurant branding, the designer known for YouTube thumbnails, the designer known for premium packaging, they all are no longer competing against every designer on the internet. They're now competing inside a much smaller pond and often charging much larger fees. Now, the second revenue stream is probably the most powerful on this list, and that is building a personal brand. Now, this one changed my life more than any other. A personal brand creates opportunities that simply don't exist otherwise. Clients find you, sponsors find you, collaborations find you, and business opportunities find you too. And the funny thing is that a personal brand isn't really an income stream itself. It's more like an amplifier for every other income stream on your list or on this list today in the video. And the key thing is to find a niche that you understand a lot and to begin to operate in that niche. One where you can deliver true value and use those graphic design skills to fully leverage your brand. And this is why I love and endorse marketing theory and psychology so much. If you dive into that sector, your entire mind and career will likely change. But here's where we can really begin to cook. Client work is still fundamentally trading time for money. So you do a project, you get paid for that project, and the project ends. The income also ends. That's when I realized there was an entirely different side of design that nobody had really talked to me about personally. Instead of selling the work once, what if you could sell it 1,000 times? And that's where assets come in. So mockups, templates, icon packs, font families, social media kits, presentation decks, brand guideline templates. And the first time I saw somebody make more money from a Photoshop mockup than a client project, I thought they were joking. Then I realized a mockup could be sold 10 times, 100 times, 10,000 times without needing another client call. But yes, this is becoming increasingly more mute and invalid due to AI, unfortunately. But it's still a valid revenue stream at the moment, if you do listen to everything else I have to show you in today's video, that is. And then we have the category that completely changed my own career, knowledge. I want to tell you that you should not underestimate how valuable your experience is. You might assume everybody already knows what you know and leave it at that. Meanwhile, somebody with half of your experience is teaching online, perhaps YouTube. They're creating courses, they're running workshops, and building communities. And the odd thing about teaching is that it often reveals how much you've already learned. A designer who understands color theory, branding, typography, layout, packaging, creative thinking, and business communication is sitting on years and years of accumulated knowledge. And the internet has made that knowledge sellable in different ways that simply didn't exist 20 years ago. Number 14 is design audits. Now, businesses often know something feels a bit wrong with their branding or their website or packaging or marketing and so on, but sometimes they might not know exactly what that is. If they don't have a strong in-house design or marketing team, a design audit lets you charge for your expertise and recommendations without ever opening Illustrator or Photoshop. You know what's a slightly embarrassing situation after 20 years of design? Having tens of thousands of files and still spending way too long trying to find what you need. You know exactly what you're looking for, the style, the mood, even roughly when you made it, but the file name is something like final version 7 real final this one.psd. And at that point, it's basically playing hide and seek in Mumbai. The fix for this hide and seek game is called Pix.io. It just sits right on top of my Google Drive. I didn't have to move a single folder or re-upload my files. It just adds an AI layer to the archive I already have. So instead of digging through different folders, I can just type something like minimalist poster with negative space. and it pulls back matching results instantly, even files I never tagged and definitely don't remember naming. And it's not just broad guessing either. You can dial in how precise the results are. So if I keep it loose, it's great for exporting different ideas, but if I tighten it up, it gets quite specific very quickly. And that's useful when you're trying to find that one version you swear existed, but we're starting to think you imagined it. It also works the other way around as well. So if a client sends a reference and asks, do you have anything like this? You can drop it in and it finds visually similar work from your own library, which does save a lot of quiet frustration. So realistically, what used to take me 10 minutes or sometimes just never happened, now takes around 5 seconds and everything stays exactly where it is in Google Drive. And that's one of the best parts, really. And if you want to try it for yourself, they've got a free 7-day trial with no credit card, and you can connect your Google Drive in a couple of minutes to see what gets pulled up. The link is in the description of today's video. The next thing you should consider is ad creative design. So with companies constantly testing new ads across social media, many businesses need a steady stream of creative assets every single month. Unlike a logo project, the work here is actually reoccurring. But the next way to generate more revenue is by building your own design-focused newsletter. Now, it doesn't sound that glamorous, but some creators have built 6- and 7-figure businesses simply by consistently sharing valuable insights with the right audience. It does take a lot of work to set up, but once the ball gets rolling, it kind of snowballs. But number 17 is a niche software tool or resource. And before you panic, no, I'm not saying you need to become a programmer at all. Many designers out there partner with developers to create tools, and then with that, they kind of split the revenue. Or you can simply just hire a developer as well. Now, I love and live by the saying, you need to spend money to make money, but to make that work, you need to have a solid plan before you go into anything at all. Now, another thing that I love the idea of, and which is AI proof, is creating your own product brand. So maybe that is physical posters, it could be a clothing brand, maybe stationery, or even digital products as well. The point is that you transition into building one of your own products using the exact same design skills you already have. So find a niche, find a demand or a need in that niche, and then deliver what they need. Another route for designers that is completely overlooked is licensing. You might create something you get paid once and then move on. Fair enough, but in some situations you can license your work instead. That means a company pays for the rights to use your design while you retain ownership. This is common in illustration and pattern design, photography, and increasingly digital assets too. You should think about it this way. Imagine creating one pattern that gets used on clothing, packaging, websites, products, and marketing campaigns across multiple different companies. And one simple way to get started is by uploading your work to a licensing marketplaces such as Creative Market, Adobe Stock, Shutterstock, or Envato. And this is where businesses can purchase licenses to use your designs, and it's completely passive, so you can just move on to the next thing or something else, and the money will just continuously trickle in. And number 20 is probably the most important of all, really, combining several of these together. Financial freedom rarely comes from one income stream. It usually comes from multiple streams supporting each other. A designer might have client work, sell templates, run a YouTube channel, offer mentorships, and own a small product brand at the same time. None of them need to be a huge hit, but together they create something far more powerful than relying on just a single source of income. And if one of those streams kind of fails or stops working, it's not the end of the world, so it's kind of really safe. But on screen right now is a video that YouTube thinks you will like and find useful. So go ahead and click that video, but of course until next time, design your future today. Peace.